Hello and good evening. You're watching AWANI Tonight with me, Farhana Sheikh. The policeman detained in connection with the murder of Farah Kartini Abdullah will be charged at the Kuala Kubu Baru Magistrate Court on Friday. Selangor Police Commissioner Dato' Hussein Omar Han says the suspect will be charged under Section 302 of the Penal Code with murder. The police said various items belonging to Farah have already been recovered, including her mobile phone, a handbag as well as the suspect's SIM card. 25-year-old Farah Kartini was reported missing on July 10th after sending a rental car to a customer at Taman University, Tanjung Malim. Her body was later found in an oil palm plantation in Kampung Sri Kledang, Hulu Selangor on July 15th. Following this, a 26-year-old suspect, a police lance corporal, believed to be her boyfriend, was arrested. Meanwhile, the 5 suspects involved in the abduction and kidnapping of Albertine Leo Jia Hui have no links and are unknown to the victim and her family. Johor Police Chief M. Kumar said this includes the 31-year-old male suspect who was found together with the 6-year-old victim in a budget hotel room on Tuesday.
However, Kumar said the police have yet to determine whether the 5 suspects in the case are known to each other and the motive for the kidnapping. He said the remand on the first 4 suspects will end tomorrow, while the remand for the 5th suspect, who was captured with the victim, will end next Monday. When asked about the Bon Odori event T-shirt worn by the 5th suspect, Kumar said it does not indicate that he was a vendor at the festival, as the shirt could be purchased by anyone attending the event. Albertine went missing during the festival at Eco Galleria in Iskandar Putri last Saturday. She was later found at a budget hotel in Batang Kali, Selangor on Tuesday.
The Insolvency Department has released 142,510 individuals from bankruptcy under the second chance policy introduced in October last year. Prime Minister Dato' Sri Anwar Ibrahim commended the department for exceeding its initial target of releasing 130,000 cases from bankruptcy this year.
Dengan tindakan satu jabatan, namanya Jabatan Insolvensi, 140,000 keluarga rasa lega dan boleh hadapi hidup dengan begitu baik.
He was speaking at the 100th anniversary celebration of the Insolvency Department. The second chance policy was first announced on October 13th last year during the tabling of Budget 2024. It includes amendments to the Insolvency Act 1967, one of which increases the minimum debt threshold from 50,000 ringgit to 100,000 ringgit.
In other news, the Health Ministry will grant healthy choice recognition to companies that reduce the sugar content in their products as part of the ministry's War on Sugar campaign. Minister Dato' Sri Zulkifli Ahmad says the move is crucial to stem the rise of non-communicable diseases (NCDs) among the population.
Zulkifli said findings from the National Health and Morbidity Survey 2023 showed that one metric had not decreased, which is high body weight, with the main cause being linked to sugar intake. According to the data, about 500,000 adults suffer from NCDs, including obesity and diabetes, with 1 in 2 Malaysians identified as obese or overweight. On May 16th, Zulkifli said MOH would launch a war on sugar soon as part of the government's effort to reduce sugar intake among the population. He said the ministry is also examining mechanisms to increase rapid blood sugar screening for early treatment.
The percentage of low birth weight babies or babies born weighing less than 2.5 kgs is increasing in the country. This is according to the latest data from the Department of Statistics Malaysia in 2022. Zarimia is in the studio with more on this report. What can you tell us?
Thanks, Farhana. This figure indeed has been on the rise. Now, DOSM's 2022 data recorded the highest percentage of low birth weight babies born in this year. That is 12.9%. Now, in comparison, if we look at 2012, 10 years ago, 11.1% of babies were born underweight. Now, Farhana, this is about 1.8% increase within 10 years. I spoke to Professor Dr. Imelda Balchin to find out if that's a worrying trend and what's behind this rise.
In the last 10 years, we have more chronic diseases because of obesity. So more mothers are getting pregnant when they are obese and have problems with diabetes and high blood pressure like preeclampsia. So if they have uncontrolled diabetes and the babies are not doing so well, or if they have high blood pressure, so mothers have high blood pressure and preeclampsia, then doctors may have to intervene and say, look, we got to get this baby out earlier to save the baby or to save the mother or both. Then we'll have more interventions and more cesarean sections that has been rising to save these babies. So what we're planning to do, what we're trying to do is preventing stillbirths or babies born without life, for example. And then you see the differences in the last 10 years. There may be a rise in numbers of low birth weight babies, but we are reducing the numbers of babies stillborn.
In short, due to the prevalence of comorbidities, doctors are carrying out interventions to reduce the number of stillborn babies, while at the same time increase the likelihood of more low birth weight babies being born.
Now, Mia, what does the data actually say about stillborn babies? Is the trend on the decline since the increase of medical interventions?
Firstly, stillbirth is a baby who dies after 28 weeks of pregnancy or in the 3rd trimester, but before or during birth. Now, the good news is the number of stillbirths have decreased in the year 2022. If we look at this graph here, in the year 2022, as compared to 2018. If we compare the stillbirth rate within 10 years, there was an increase from 2012, 4.3 per 1,000 babies were born stillbirth, as compared to 2018 at 5.5 per 1,000 babies were born stillbirth. However, the rate has declined the next 5 years from 5.5 per 1,000 babies in 2018 to 5.0 babies in 2022. Now, Dr. Imelda says this proves that awareness and early intervention helps in preventing stillbirths.
That is the reason why we look at mothers' risk factors from the beginning of the pregnancy. If you're at risk, it means you're mothers with high risk, then we have earlier referral to obstetrics and gynecology department from primary care, from klinik kesihatan, right? So that we do serial growth scans of the baby, we monitor the baby's health and growth, try our best to get the baby to mature gestation before they're born, but on some occasions, the babies are in trouble. The amniotic fluid, the fluid around the baby has dropped, the baby's not growing, and baby's moving very little or not moving at all is showing signs that this baby's health is deteriorating. Then we got to take action. We're going to say, look, let's get this baby out. And once the baby's out, we'll feed the baby and the baby will recover. But if we didn't, or we didn't even know there was a problem, that sometimes we get, it's too late and baby's already died inside the mother's womb. So that sometimes happens. And that's why we encourage all our mothers to monitor the baby's movements, pay attention to your baby, and come and see us in obstetrics and gynecology department, in the hospitals, if you think your baby's movements reduced and you're already in a 3rd trimester.
Based on what we've heard from Dr. Imelda earlier, most of the time mothers do not know babies die in the womb. For expecting mothers, what are the signs to look out for to prevent stillbirth?
Usually it's a medical health problem of the mother that may lead to problems with placenta. All right. We know that mothers who are more advanced age, more than 35 or more than 40 years old, placental function may not be so good in some of these mothers, and we see more problems of baby's growth in mothers with advanced age. And these are the mothers that we will select to do a serial growth scans, because not all mothers need to have growth scans done to monitor the baby's growth and see a chart the growth, making sure it's going according to trajectory. we will select the mothers who need them, because it's not possible in the government sector to do so many serial growth scans on the mothers. So those who are low risk are told, monitor your baby's movements and come to us if there were problems. But those who are of high risk, being mums with high blood pressure, mums with diabetes, mums with obesity, mums with a big fibroid, mums with twins, triplets, then we would do a serial growth scans to monitor the growth in the hospital and get them to come back to us on a regular basis.
Khalif akan ganti Abah besok.
Dalam keluarga ni, kau seorang saja yang dapat peluang macam ni.
Kan lagi bayi sambung belajar. It's your future.
Khalif nak sambung belajar.
Dah sampai masanya Khalif ambil tempat dalam keluarga ni. Dalam bangunan ni ada emas bernilai 1 juta.
Khalif!
Ingat, ini perjuangan kita.
Exchange, stream episod baharu setiap Jumaat on demand dan di saluran-saluran berikut.
Welcome back onto international news. A Philippine-flagged tanker carrying 1.4 million litres of industrial fuel capsized and sank off Manila, leaving 1 dead. Authorities are now rushing to contain the oil spill as Typhoon Gemi hits the island.
The MT Terra Nova was heading for the central city of Iloilo when it sank in Manila Bay in the early hours of Thursday. 16 crew members were rescued, but authorities say strong winds and rain have made efforts to contain the kilometres-long oil spill difficult. The Philippine Coast Guard warned that failure to contain further leaks could result in the largest spill in the country's history. The vessel went down as Typhoon Gemi and the seasonal monsoon lashed Manila and surrounding regions in recent days. The government has placed the capital region of Metro Manila, home to roughly 15 million people, under a state of calamity. This declaration will allow local officials to spend emergency funds on relief operations.
North Korea has sent around 500 balloons carrying trash into the South's airspace in the last 24 hours. Officials say the balloons have disrupted flights in Seoul and even ignited a fire on the roof of a residential building.
The balloons are part of an ongoing campaign by North Korea against defectors and activists in the South, who regularly send over anti-Pyongyang leaflets and USB sticks with K-pop videos and dramas. Balloons have affected traffic at South Korea's main international airport, Incheon, several times in recent weeks. South Korea's military said some trash balloons were also equipped with timed poppers that could spread the trash and cause fires. On Wednesday, North Korean balloons landed in the compound of the heavily guarded presidential office in Seoul, although its contents did not pose any threats to security.
In other news, Indonesia has launched a long-term visa scheme aimed at attracting foreign investment and skilled workers to the country. Launched by President Joko Widodo, the new Golden Visa offers a 10-year residency for those investing up to $10 million.
Investors putting in at least $2.5 million and establishing a company can stay for 5 years. A 10-year residency is available for a $5 million investment. Individuals who do not wish to set up a company are also eligible for the Golden Visa with a $350,000 investment, while corporate investors must invest at least $25 million and set up a company for a 5-year residency. Jokowi, as the president is commonly known, said his government will be selective when it comes to choosing who is eligible for the Golden Visa and that it was intended to attract good quality travellers. While many countries offer similar schemes, others like Canada, Britain and Singapore have discontinued them due to concerns over job creation and could be a means to park speculative money.
That wraps up AWANI tonight. I'm Farhana Sheikh. Thank you for watching.